process the last 10 years of like pre-screening my films before I take them to festivals. This is the first time in a long time. Everyone in this audience, this will be the largest amount of strangers who've ever seen the film, and it's just, I don't know, I'm a little nervous.
That just means you care. Big Ticket had told me that. He was like, if you're nervous, that just means you care.
Yeah, I do. I care quite a bit. Yes, yes.
I love that. Well, you did great at the Macro Lodge, and I was taking some notes. And you had said that the movie was inspired by The Lovers Rock. And so can you explain the impact that those movies had on the documentary,
Sure.
and then also the balance you did between fiction and documentary?
Sure. You know, I'm a fiction. What I like to say is I have cinematic dyslexia, and that I can't tell the difference between what is documentary and what is fiction. For me, they're two different paths to the same result, which is a film. I had just done the inspection right before Move Your Body. It's a narrative fiction film that's based off of my life, and it was a very heavy film, but I learned a lot about storytelling, mainly that sometimes it's much easier to make a movie if you have a script. So this time around, I did exhaustive interviews with my cast and crew, and out of those interviews, I came up with a strategy for my on-camera interviews and my recreations, and basically I wanted to merge the two. So if you notice in the film, most of the sets in which the interviews are shot are also at places where there are recreations shot, and hearing the life story of all of these incredible Chicago house music pioneers, I was able to kind of realize that some of this stuff needed to be recreated, just because we never get the chance to see Black folks making music together, having a good time, spreading joy and love, especially when it comes to Chicago. So I've been trying to just use my experience to push myself to make something that could really transcend and pay homage to Chicago and the people who made this wonderful house music that I love.
Can you talk about how house music, brought you freedom?
Yeah. So, when I was a kid, I'm Elegance, that's my name. People have always assumed that I'm gay, and they're right. So, what that meant, though, is that a lot of times I had a lot of corrective measures. People were like, you got to walk like a man, you got to talk like a man, you got to be a certain type of way. And then one day I heard about this club in New York called Limelight. I was very young, too young to be in there, but I went and I got in. And when I got in, the things that I was ridiculed for, the things that I was punished for and demeaned for, became superpowers. And I looked around, and the music that was a soundtrack to all of this power and this liberation was house music. And I associate the two together now, because in those clubs were the spaces that I felt most safe and most valued and most relevant. And I just wanted to make that possible for others to feel through the film.
Well, I love that. Well, you matter, and I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for taking the time.
No, thank you. In the end, everything will be carved in stone.